it's Ash and I'm the vegan neuropsychologist, and this video, well, you know what, it's kind of an apology video because with all the discussion lately about the definition of veganism, I feel like I've completely missed the point, because here I was thinking that the problem is about semantics, what constitutes veganism and what doesn't, and I think it's pretty clear cut what veganism is. It's binary. Either you're vegan or you're not. It's kind of like being pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not. But I don't think that's what the problem is in the vegan community. I think the problem is one of tolerance and acceptance. And I have to say right off the bat that being tolerant of something and accepting of something, it doesn't mean that we condone it. Like, I have family and friends who are not vegan. Maybe they're pre-vegan, I hope they'll get there one day. I can accept that that's where they are right now. I don't condone it. I don't agree with it. I actually think it's a really bad decision to eat animal products, but I can accept that that's where they are. And the reason why acceptance is so important is because from acceptance is where we can actually take appropriate action. Here's the thing. We like to think that everybody can see the world the way that we see it right now. If only we showed them the facts. If only we showed them the right information. If only we were logical. If only we were rational enough. If only we proselytized just a little bit more, then perhaps that person in front of us will see the world the way that we see it. Now, I have learned the hard way that this is not the case. For most people, logic is not enough. Facts are not enough. Statistics are not enough. It is an emotional decision. It is one that has to occur. It's like a switch that has to be flicked from non-vegan to vegan, from pre-vegan to vegan. Once that switch is made, you can't go back. That's why I don't agree with the idea of part-time veganism, because I don't think veganism is a diet. I don't even think it's a lifestyle. I think it's a mindset. It's a way of thinking. But my point is that we forget what it's like to be a non-vegan, especially for those of us who've been vegan for a while. For me, it's been 9 years since I ate any animal products, which is a quarter of my life. So it's not that long in the scheme of things, but 9 years, gee, it feels like a lifetime ago. I barely remember what it was like to have that ignorance and that apathy about veganism, to think that it was impossible. I remember thinking that veganism was impossible. How could you get rid of all animal products from your life? And here I am now, it's 2017, and I've proven to myself that it is possible. Most people do not have the mindset that you have right now. Most people do live in fear and ignorance and apathy. And when people are afraid, they have the defenses up. And it is extraordinarily hard to break through those defenses sometimes. I'm not saying that it's impossible. What I'm saying is that it takes time, it takes commitment, and it usually takes not us talking about veganism, but just being a great example of veganism and not giving people excuses to reject this lifestyle. There are so many wonderful things about veganism, and we do ourselves a disservice by acting like assholes. I'm not excusing myself from this, because I have definitely had moments I look back on with a little bit of regret. Moments when I could have responded better. I could have been less angry, less hateful, less judgmental. I think we all have. We can create a better movement, not by changing the definition of veganism, but just being better advocates for veganism. It's got nothing to do with facts or logic or any of those other things. It has everything to do with being an example of veganism. Most people have no idea what it means to live a vegan life. And surprisingly, it's not that different from living a non-vegan life. It's just that we happen to make different decisions. Instead of reaching for one thing on the supermarket shelf, we reach for something else. It's not that hard, but most people are looking for an excuse, any excuse not to be vegan. So why give them an excuse unnecessarily? Instead, let's be a really great example of veganism. Let's be accepting of where people are right now. Let's help them to make the next step, keeping in mind that veganism is the destination and they'll get there. We need to help them to get there, not put hurdles in their way, not put them off becoming vegan. Being as kind, being as compassionate, because that's what veganism is about, and being as encouraging as possible. Most non-vegans, they don't need someone to attack them. They need someone in their corner cheering them on, because you know what? For the person who is considering going vegan, there are probably 10 people around them who don't want them to change. They need people who can cheer on for them. They need cheerleaders in their lives. They need people who are there, who are going to support them. And I think that every single one of us in the vegan community can do that. So let's start doing it right now. We've got to stop the infighting. And of course, if we see things that are inappropriate or unacceptable or illegal in the vegan community, of course we can shed light on it and we can share our opinion of why it's not acceptable. And I've certainly done that myself in the past. I think that's okay. I think we don't have to agree on everything. It's okay to disagree. We don't have to be hateful. We don't have to attack others. And let's not use veganism as an excuse to just be mean. People can justify all sorts of really horrible actions under the guise of it's for the animals. But you know what? I think being hateful, being judgmental, I don't think that's for the animals. I think the only person that it serves is the person who's being hateful and judgmental. And even then, it only serves them for a very small fraction of time. Because then the high of belittling someone else fades, and then they have to do it again. They need to attack again and again and again to bolster their flagging self-esteem. So let's not be like that. Let's work on ourselves. Let's be cheerleaders. Let's cheer on all of the pre-vegans who are getting ready to make those steps. And the ones who mock us, the ones who want to judge us, let them judge. We don't have to buy into it. All right, that's pretty much everything I want to say. Kind of did this video off the cuff, so let me know your thoughts. I always love hearing from you. Your comments are always so insightful and intelligent, so I'd love to know what you're thinking right now. So leave me a comment. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and thanks so much for taking the time to watch this. I'll see you in the next video.